Okay, we talked about scan tools earlier. OEM specified scan tools, hybrid scan tools using hybrids, generic and manufactured scan tools. Right? Most scan tools today has to be OB2 compliant. Then on the scan tools, we also said about input PIDs, like any sensor will be an input, sensor or switch is an input. Output devices would be anything that the computer controls, which is called an actuator. Purge solenoids, EGR solenoids, transmission control solenoids, fuel pump, fuel injectors, they're output devices. Calculated engine loads, again, that would be fuel trim, mass airflow, and status, like readiness tests for the monitors. But one thing I need to add to that is this: substitute values. Basically what this is, the most common one, or the one I first seen was, I got a GM V6 with a mass airflow sensor. The sensor is bad. It's defective. But the readings on the scan tool looks good. Like how? It looks perfect. The numbers, the gram per second, everything looks like they're working. That's called a substitute value. Now how you tell on this older car it was a substitute value was you turn the car off, key on engine off, and you move the throttle like you stepped on it going on the freeway to wide open throttle, from idle to wide open throttle. And you see the grams per second go up, and the car is not even running. That's why you use a substitute value. The computer is programmed to put the car in a default value or limp home mode so it can run decent to get it to a shop. And the reason that the numbers aren't moving because it's following the TPS. And using the TPS input as a substitute number, then substituting a number for the mass airflow just to get the car going. That's called a substitute value. Now let's look at this slide here. Chrysler PCMs may send a substitute value to the scan tool. Ford PCMs never send a substitute value to the scan tool. GMOs may send a substitute value to the scan tool, but along with the actual sense values, there will be two PIDs for the same item, but in different units, and they will disagree. That's another clue also. Most Asians and European PCMs never send a substitute value to the scan tool, and generic OB2 regulations prohibit sending a substitute value to the scan tool. So these are some of the ways you know the car has a substitute value. Another way is, let's face it. Again, these are substitute values. Again, you might see something like on the GM that a coolant sensor, and this is very rare, that is bad. You disconnect it. That number looks good on the scan tool, or any sensor. It looks good on the scan tool. All right, GMs usually do that, but that's called a substitute value. Any more questions on that? Let me know. Let's go to the next one.